What's going on, chat? GS3 Media Team Media Now. Back with another live stream. What's going on? What's going on, man? Now, I want to get into this content right now, man. This content is a little, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, man. What these white kids did to this young black man. Now, I watched this one already. I missed this one, and I watched this one. And he just dropped this one. So, I'm going to start from the beginning with y'all just because I already watched this, and I know y'all haven't got into it yet. So, being that you guys haven't got into it yet, I'm going to start from the beginning with this story.
This Nolan Wells situation is terrifying. They really murdered that boy. And they're going to get away with it, unfortunately, for everybody involved. And it should piss off a lot of us. I don't see enough people angry at this situation that there should be. And the reason why so many people resonate with this Nolan Wells story is because Nolan Wells is like the average 18-year-old kid, grew up in a two-parent household in Ocean Spring, Mississippi, a regular neighborhood, nothing spectacular. He played football in high school, was good enough at football in high school, to now he's playing football at a community college.
And basically, you guys, they left this young man at the beach, on the island in their town, and they're lying, saying that he got on a boat with this person. Oh, he stayed with this girl. Amber Alert has been activated by the California Highway Patrol. Last seen on July 10th. And yeah, sorry about that, you guys. I got an alert. But yeah, so this situation is very tragic. It's messed up. Their mom is a lawyer, so that is helping them out a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all watch it, man. Then we're gonna get into the rest of the episode.
If you take away the name Nolan Wells and just put those facts on paper, a lot of us probably won't be able to distinguish between his life story and the life story of our nephew, our cousin, our brother. We all know somebody who lived the exact same life as Nolan Wells, right? Regular kid, played sports in high school, made it to community college. Nothing spectacular, just the average kid, which is why his story has a lot of people distraught, because a lot of people see themselves in Nolan Wells. They see their family member in Nolan Wells. They look at Nolan Wells and his story and they say, this could happen to me and my family. So a couple of days ago, like most kids his age from that area, he hopped on a boat with a couple of his homies to go celebrate July 4th off coast. Nolan gathered and rode on the same boat as his homies Eric, Wyatt, and Warren, and they rowed their boat to this island called Horn Island, which is like 10 to 12 miles off coast from mainland in Ocean Springs. When they got to Horn Island, his best friend Javon was on the island and Nolan checked in with him. Now, Javon would have rowed on the same boat as Nolan. That was the plan, but Nolan's boat got full and didn't really have any space. So Javon just rowed with some other people and they all got to the island together. Once he got done talking to Javon, who apparently is his best friend, he then went back to hanging out with the people he went to the island with, even meeting up with this girl called Katie McCormick that he really liked, who was also on the island. They was talking throughout the day. Eventually, when the festivities died down, the people he came with, Wyatt, Warren, Eric, they all went home. Katie went home. Javon went home. But Nolan did not go home. Nolan was nowhere to be found. And his parents were on social media begging for answers. Every one of the individuals that Nolan had contact with on 4th of July on Horns Island had left the island at earliest 3 p.m., at latest 4 p.m., but Nolan's mom made a status at 9:55 p.m. on July 4th, alerting the public that her son still hadn't come home yet from Horns Island and that he was missing. So she posted, "Please be on the lookout for Nolan. Last seen was west tip north side of Horn Island today around 3 p.m. wearing blue shorts and sunglasses. It's unclear if he made it back on land. Please message me if you've seen him or have information about his whereabouts at or after 4 p.m. At 4 a.m. the next day, the mama made another status where she says, "There's no updates. Nolan is still missing. Please, if you're a praying person, Please pray he is found alive.
As you can see, he's still missing by the next day. I'm sorry, my mic was muted. And now I'm not even gonna say everything else I just said because my mic was muted, so that's taking up more time. But his friends is steady gonna be lying, and they have his phone too.
Safe and unharmed. At 6:46 a.m., she made another post. Nolan has not been found. His father and I have his cell phone, so for friends who are seeing his location, it's because we have it. Katie has contacted me. We are currently at Horn Island. We're looking for any information other than what we already know. Please personal message me if you have any additional information. Another post was made at 8:14 a.m. If you have any information, please let us know. Another post was made at 9:10 a.m. Please send any information if you've seen him. Another post was made at 9:45 a.m. Nolan has not been found. So whomever is spreading the rumor he is home, that is not true. Another post was made at 10:29 a.m. I'm asking for any video or photos from yesterday from Horn/Ship Island that may have Nolan in them. Also, I appreciate all the love and support. We are a bit overwhelmed. Please personal message me only if you have details about yesterday or if it's news outlet. When the family announced the search efforts for Nolan, Katie, the girl that Nolan was talking to on the island, she reached out to the family. She apparently was cooperative and told them everything that she knew. She went to the island with the family to help look for Nolan. But the same level of cooperation and concern they received from Katie can't be said for Nolan friends that he rode on the boat with to the island, like Wyatt, Warren, and Eric.
This ain't they not cooperating. What? What? That is preposterous. Why you guys not supporting the cause and trying to see what's going on with y'all friend though?
Eric, because they were allegedly out to eat the next day while everybody was outside looking for Nolan. And when they were asked why they weren't out looking for Nolan, they were out here eating with no care in the world. According to one of Nolan's friends, their answer was really sketchy and really bothersome.
They wouldn't give his phone back to his parents, and they were seen eating out the next day. And with...
Oh, they did it. They did it. They were seen out eating the next day, and then they ain't even trying to look for him. What? They did it. They did it. You ain't got to tell me they did it. You ain't got to hint that they did it. They did it.
When somebody asked them, like, hey, why aren't you out looking for your friend? They said, y'all already think we did it.
If that conversation actually happened, if that's true, the reason why that would be considered suspicious and bothersome is because this is the day after. This is July 5th. Everybody is outside looking for Nolan. Right now, he's being considered missing. His whereabouts is unknown. And according to the family, nobody knows where he is. But if the response is y'all already suspect us of doing it, well, doing what exactly? Doing what exactly? Because as far as everybody knows, he's just missing. But that reaction and that reply would insinuate something tragic took place. Now, the reason why Nolan's family and friends were allegedly suspicious of the friends he rode on a boat with, like Eric, Wyatt, and Warren, is because they have possession of Nolan's phone. Nolan is nowhere to be found. Nolan is nowhere to be seen. However, you guys have his phone, but yet you guys are saying y'all have no idea where he is. Approximately 2 days after Nolan Walls went missing, his mother showed up to Facebook on July 6, 12:43 p.m. and wrote a status announcing that Nolan Walls' body had been found, and unfortunately, he'd been found deceased. She wrote, I want to thank our family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, resources over the last few days. His father, Elmore Laura Wansley, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. My heart is broken for our sweet son, who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. I ask that you all please give me and my family privacy as we grieve. Thank you all again. God bless. When the news that Nolan Wells' body had been found and he was found deceased, chaos ensued. See, it was devastating news, obviously, for the family, but it was also devastating to people outside the family, people on social media who didn't know Nolan Wells personally, but they were pretty invested and committed to finding out what happened to him. And when it was found out that this kid was found dead, a lot of questions surfaced, a lot.
Breaking news, a body has been found on Horn Island near where missing 18-year-old Nolan Wells went missing. Search crews like this one you see here in the air have been searching for him for more than 40 hours now. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brandy McGill. Will Polston has been on the scene at a command post in Jackson County all morning as they search, and he now joins us live. Good morning to you, Will.
Hey, good morning, Brandy. We got word here just at about 8:45 that there was a body found on Horn Island, and the officials are now working on bringing that back. Now, as of right now, we do not have an identity of the body that was found.
Because as soon as a body was found, as soon as Nolan Wells' body got found, the people he had contact with lawyered up. His homies, who he thought were his homies, who he rode on the boat to the island with, Wyatt, Warren, Eric, they lawyered up.
Ain't no way they did that, bro. They did that, bro. Why would y'all get lawyers? Why? Why would y'all get lawyers, though? That's what I'm not getting. Why y'all got lawyers? Oh, because y'all did it, huh?
Now, they told the family, hey, listen, we don't know what happened because everybody he had contact with passed the buck to each other. The people on the boat said, hey, we told him we were leaving. He said he was going to stay by and catch a ride somewhere else. We didn't ask nothing of it. We left. His best friend, Javon, said, yo, when I seen him, he was talking to Katie. He said he was going to catch a ride with Katie. Katie said, look, we talked, but he said he was leaving with his friends. I said, okay, and didn't question it. So everybody is passing the buck to each other. They passed the buck to Javon. Javon passed the buck to Katie. Katie passed the buck to Wyatt, Warren, and Eric and the friends on the boat. But after the friends gave the initial statement, Wyatt, Warren, and Eric, after they gave their initial statement, they now went quiet. They lawyered up, deactivated their pages, and had nothing more to say. The dudes that Nolan rode on a boat with, they claimed they were in a rush and in a hurry to leave the island and get out the water because their boat was experiencing malfunction. The boat was receiving water. They thought they had to get out the water as fast as possible or else they would be stranded. So they told Nolan it's time to go. Nolan said he's not leaving, and he stayed. However, they still had Nolan's phone. So Nolan didn't realize, oh, damn, bro, you guys have my phone. Give me my phone before you guys leave. It sounds like y'all was leaving in a hurry and Nolan had no idea, to be honest. But they also failed to mention that an altercation took place. Now, there's like very grainy video of the altercation that took place online that doesn't really...
Now, that's the icing on the cake. So you mean to tell me they forgot to mention that an altercation ensued, huh? So he got into it with one of y'all. Or did he get into it with somebody else? Huh? So what was it? What really was it?
Tell us much, but it does show Nolan getting into some type of like verbal, hostile back and forth.
So what exactly happened from you guys' side?
From our side, there was an altercation with a different boat, which had other kids on it, black kids, and there was an altercation. There was a fight, something happened, and they went back to their respective boats or whatever. And when his best friend was on the other boat. So when he went to go like check up on Nolan and everything after the fight, Nolan's boat was gone, but they had stayed for a couple more hours. And so what
Okay, so that's him over there getting into it. And they failed to mention that though. How did you guys fail to mention that he got into it with somebody at the beach that day though? How? Is what I'm not getting. How did you guys fail to mention this? Oh yeah, he did get into it with Wooty Whoop and Wooty Bam.
when they
Y'all
got back to land,
civilians.
and
Y'all are civilians, so it don't matter. I'm just being honest. Y'all are civilians, so yeah, y'all can dial 911 and all that. So that is just preposterous. Whatever y'all let happen to this young man.
for a couple more hours. And so when they got back to land, they had his phone. So Nolan didn't even have his phone. The phone was at one of the boys' houses, and they didn't want to give it to his parents, and they had to send somebody to go get the phone from his house. That's why, like, when we checked his location, everybody was like thinking that it wasn't serious because we saw his location and said he was in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, like at his house. But they wouldn't give his phone back to his parents. But the story that they keep trying to push out to everybody is that the boat was sinking and taking on water, and they were telling Nolan that he needed to get on the boat, but Nolan wanted to stay back with a girl that he never met, which he wouldn't have done. Because if that was like, we're all from the same surrounding areas, she goes to Moss Point, which is like 20 minutes away. Why could you not hang out on land when you got back?
If the boat that you came in was sinking and you knew that.
And so that was like the crazy thing, is that they're talking about, oh, the boat was sinking, and he didn't want to get on the boat, and the boat had to get towed back. But if that was the case and he said he wanted to stay there, why did you take his phone back and not leave him on an island without a way to get home?
The only people who truly know what happened to Nolan is Nolan and the people involved. But if Nolan was my friend, if I was somebody who was on the boat, now I don't think they left that island without Nolan's body. That's just me though, right? But I'm gonna say this: if my friend was missing and I left him behind, and there was rumors that something bad happened to him, wouldn't the first thing I tell the family and the police, yo, he was in an altercation with this group of people and this group and this group and this group? The only way I wouldn't tell them folks about the altercation is if the altercation was with me and my group. If it was me and my group of friends that he was arguing with, if we all got into a heated altercation, even if I'm quote unquote innocent, I probably wouldn't tell him because I don't want him to think that something nefarious is going on. And if something nefarious did go on, I damn sure wouldn't tell him that, hey, by the way, just so you guys know, before he went missing, he was arguing with us. We got into a really, 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 really heated altercation. And that led to what exactly? Oh, nothing. We squashed it and then we left, and we just happened to leave him and take his phone with us. Excuse me, you had his phone? Now, even what they did with the boat is suspicious. The boat is probably the single most important and crucial piece of evidence in this entire case. You know what they did with the boat? Take a listen.
But in the videos that you can see, obviously the fight was loud enough and big enough to cause all the other surrounding boats to pay attention, and that be the main focus of what everybody was seeing at the time.
And Alexis, I do want to ask you something else. How long were they friends?
They've been friends for a minute. I mean, these people have gone to school together since elementary school.
Since elementary school. And y'all did this to him, bro? That is messed up. Let's see what happened to the boat.
Yes, and I want to ask another question from the chat. I'm sorry. Dark Chocolate said, my thing is, why did the boat really have to get towed back, and was his BODY on it?
There is some speculation, like this is just like hearsay, that the boat was owned by this dude Wyatt, but when the boat got brought back, it was parked at Warren's house, which is his mom is the judge or whatever. And somebody said they drove by like later that night and like they were cleaning out the boat. Like it was like dark night, not like regular time when you would clean out a boat. It was like later at night. And then
So late at night, the day this happened, 4th of July, y'all cleaning the boat out? Why y'all cleaning the boat out? Why are you guys cleaning the boat out when this young man went missing the same night? Why are y'all cleaning the boat out?
and there was a girl on the boat that's not in any of the pictures or wasn't the girl that he was talking to. And when she got back on land, she turned off like her Snap location, but her best friend still had her location on Find My iPhone. And she was at, all of them were at one house for like 4 hours.
They were kids. They could have been partying at the house for 4 hours after leaving Horn Island. But I don't know, bruh. All right, why wouldn't you take the boat back to your crib? Why would you bring it to the judge crib?
Right.
It sounded like, hey, mom, we got ourselves in a pickle. We need your help with something. We need your help to figure out what to do here. Now, again, this is speculative. This is just day one. We're going to do a much deeper dive into this case once more information comes out. But things ain't looking right. Now, the judge, who apparently is she's the mom of Warren. Now, apparently that judge deactivated all of her pages too. Now, everybody is secretive. The kid dies, everybody lawyers up, don't got nothing to say. Right? Refuse to say certain things like, hey, he got into an altercation with some people. Probably look at that group of people. But you wouldn't say look at that group of people if you were the group of people. Because it'll be easy to say, yo, listen, we left, bro. But bro was still there after getting into an altercation with some folks. Looking to them folks, they probably did something to him. Which is why also too though, like I could already tell, man, they not really boys, bro. Like they're not really homies. Think about it for a second, okay? You and your homie go out. Let's just say, I don't know, y'all go out to a party, man. Your friend get into an altercation with a group of dudes at that party. Are you leaving that party without your friend? Are you letting your friend tell you, hey, bro, I just got into an altercation with this group of people. Now, my only homies I came with, they about to leave me, and I'm about to be at this party by myself when there's hostility and resentment with a group of guys, and I got no backup. Does that even sound right? Clearly not. Now, the judge, she decided to respond back to her son's suspicion and potentially being involved in this case, as well as why she deactivated her page. Now, I'm gonna say this, bruh. The Sheriff County came out and said that they didn't find any crimes involving this Nolan Wells case. But the autopsy ain't even come back yet, bruh.
The autopsy not even back yet, and they saying they can't find. They ain't found nothing in this case yet. They ain't found nothing. Or no suspicion, no nothing.
Autopsy ain't even come. The sheriff who's investigating a possible murder involving the judge's son came back and said, we ain't find no crimes have been committed without the autopsy even coming back yet. Think about it for a second. You think justice is like gonna get served in this case? Clearly not. Now, the judge put out a statement, and here's what the judge had to say. Judge Ashley Cole, who apparently has a despicable track record, like despicable, like things like telling like this black woman that the baby dad cannot meet her at the police station to drop off the kid, and that she ended up getting murdered, or somebody else lost their kid. She tells the person they can't grieve online. This lady has a despicable track record. She goes, our family, along with the community, grieve the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son, Warren, loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it's appropriate for our family to dispel some rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family and their loss, okay? So you don't think it's necessary to talk to the police, to talk to the family? Right, so they go, yes, I deactivated my Facebook given the very heightened emotional state of social media. Right now, I fear for the safety of my child and my children.
What? You're the judge. How you fear for your... Yeah, this ain't adding up, y'all. This ain't adding up. It ain't adding up.
Husband and I have 6 children, and we covet their privacy. We do not believe it is appropriate for our minor children's photographs to be circulated through the internet, presenting potential threats to their safety. I graduated high school with, again, Nolan's mom, Kristen Wells. We are from the same community. I have the utmost respect for her and all of the Wells family. We mourn the loss of Nolan with them. Our prayers have been and will continue to be with them. My husband and I were not at Horns Island at any point on 4th of July. What's the price of tea in China? What does this have to do with anything? We know you weren't there, right?
What's the price of tea in China? She trying to be funny. She trying to throw some sarcasm in there. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Them young men had something to do with this. I don't care what y'all say.
But your son was there. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement quest for an answer. Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last at around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on water and they had an issue with the... He saw Nolan last at around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on water and they had an issue with the... What? What? So hold on, bruh. So...
It's getting real dark. So that's what's going on. Flacco, it's getting real dark, man. It's getting real dark, man.
The homie you went there with, y'all told us that y'all asked Nolan, hey, Nolan, we about to leave, bro. You want to come with? Nolan said, nah, bro, I don't want to come with. Nah, I'm chilling. I'm like hanging out. Y'all go ahead, bro. But now y'all are telling us the last time y'all seen him was at 3 p.m. Y'all left at 4:30 p.m. So the story of, hey, we told Nolan, hey, bro, we about to go, come with it. He said, nah. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because you didn't see him an hour and 30 minutes before you guys left. Didn't you guys go to the Horn Island to hang out together? Wasn't you, Nolan, and everybody hanging out together?
Exactly.
Y'all didn't see somebody you guys was there to hang out with for an hour and 30 minutes?
Exactly.
This doesn't make sense at all. The claim now that they told Nolan, hey, we're leaving, and he says, nah, that's out the window, because they said the last time they seen him was 3 p.m. He saw Nolan last at around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. But how did he make this decision? Think about it for a second. How did Nolan make the decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends? He did make that
decision, that's why.
When the last time y'all seen Nolan was 3 p.m. and y'all left the island at 4:30 p.m. Y'all left at 4:30. The last time y'all seen him was 3 p.m. Huh? That don't make sense. Y'all not saying, hey, bro, we about to leave and then spend an hour and 30 minutes later. Like, are you crazy? You don't say, hey, we about to leave and then spend another hour and 30 minutes while your boat is malfunctioning. That don't make sense at all. They continue, man. They says, yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. Man, cut it out, man. She says, we live in a world of clickbaity. All right, man. Fair, listen, bro. If the story continues to change, it continues to change. It doesn't make, nothing here makes sense at all.
Okay, chat. GS3 Media TV, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to keep good vibes, man. Now let's get into this next one, man. Let's get into the next one, man. Okay, man, because it's episodes of this. Okay, so the next one is, okay, we just watched that one. So this is the next one I never got.
The fact that they up in to launch a private investigation. They murdered that little boy, man. What Nolan Wells' parents found in his phone confirms beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they murdered that little boy, man. They murder him, and the police, the law enforcement agencies, the judges, coroners, everybody in that.
Let's let Flacco finish this, man. That is crazy, bro.
That city responsible for this investigation is working in cahoots to make sure they get away with it. That little boy was murdered by some powerful people in that city, and they making sure them powerful people don't get held accountable. Nolan Wells' family has retained the services of Benjamin Crump to ensure Nolan gets justice, however that may be. They brought Benjamin Crump in to launch a private investigation into the death of Nolan, because whatever they have seen up until this point.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. They're two different kinds. Okay. Thanks. Okay, we on this one now.
The fact that they continue to tell
And show them powerful people don't get held accountable. Nolan Wells' family has retained the services of Benjamin Crump to ensure Nolan gets justice, however that may be. They brought Benjamin Crump in to launch a private investigation into the death of Nolan, because whatever they have seen up until this point, they've seen enough to know they can't trust the local police department. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the only option they had if you take the circumstance into consideration. If this does end up being a murder investigation, if Nolan was murdered, one of the suspects, Warren Mama, is a sitting judge in the city. It's a small town. They all grew up together. The police department, the sheriffs, the detectives, people who were investigating this probably is coming in with biases. Oh, nah, Warren wouldn't do no such. Nah, not Ashley's boy. Ashley's boy would do no such thing. What? Wyatt, Eric? Nah, those are good boys. So they're already coming in with a biased eyes and a biased lens. They're going into this assuming these people did nothing wrong and Nolan just got drunk and drowned. Even though every single detail, every single evidence, every single piece of information that has come out has pointed into the opposite direction of that.
You mentioned earlier there are some contradictions.
Yes.
What gives you confidence or perhaps concern about the investigation so far?
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where you had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another on the boat. So that's the issue. And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says,
That's what I'm talking about, black man. Get in there and investigate. Get in there and investigate. See what's going on.
well, Nolan and I finished talking, and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so They are conflicting. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is dead.
I've never seen a police department in such a hurry to close out an investigation. They have refused to take any of the new evidence into consideration. And let's slow it down for a second. The story they're giving us doesn't make sense. The story that Nolan friends are giving us doesn't make sense. And it shouldn't make sense to a trained police officer. Nolan came to Horn Island with Wyatt, Warren, and Eric. They were on the boat with Nolan. Wyatt, Warren, and Eric claim they left the island without Nolan. They have no idea where he was, even though they came together. Their excuse is Nolan told us he wasn't going to come with because he was busy talking to this chick called Katie that he liked and he hit it off with while he was on the island. Then Katie said, hell nah, he wasn't going home with me. We actually cut our conversation short because he told me he had to go back to the boat with his friends.
Right.
So which one is it? Who do we believe? Katie or Warren, Wyatt, and Eric? The reason why I tend to believe Katie's account of things is because Ashley Cole, Warren's mama, told on themselves. Look at this right here. Look at how implausible this is, okay? She goes, Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last at around 3 p.m. on July 4th. You would only ask your homie, hey, bro, you coming with us or you staying? We about to go. You would only ask him that when you are about to go. So if you last saw him at 3 p.m. and that's when you asked him, because again, according to them, they asked him, hey, you coming with or you staying? He said he's staying. Okay, cool. You would only ask that when you're about to go right at that moment. So if you last saw him at 3, then you would have asked him that at 3, but then that wouldn't make sense because why would you ask him that at 3 when you guys eventually left at 4:30 p.m.? So the last y'all seen Nolan was at 3 p.m. when y'all asked him, hey, you coming with, bro? We about to go. Then y'all stayed an additional hour and 30 minutes. Really? That makes sense? Really? That don't make sense at all. But this actually coincides with what Katie said, which is, oh, we cut our conversation short because he told me he was headed back to the boat with his friends because they had to go. That would mean that Nolan went back to that boat. Nolan was on that boat. Something happened on that boat. We seen an argument take place on camera of Nolan arguing with somebody on a boat. But the police says there's nothing to investigate. There's no foul play. It doesn't make sense. And think about it for a second, okay? So they left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taking on water. They had an issue with the bitch pump. First off, okay, if a boat is taking on water, and you guys are about 10 to 15 miles away from mainland. So these kids, these inexperienced kids, hopped on a boat that were 10 to 15 miles away from mainland, about what, a 30 to 40 minute ride. The boat was taking on water and they decided to still hop on and go 40 minutes back to mainland. How does that make sense? They gave Nolan a heads up. They had to go because the boat was malfunctioning. Then they proceeded to stay an additional 1 hour and 30 minutes while the boat was malfunctioning. Then they hopped on the boat that was malfunctioning to sail 15 miles to mainland. What? What are we talking about here, man? Are y'all crazy? Are y'all insane? That's why people is looking at the police department like, yo, you guys is compromised, homie. Now, we not letting Katie off the hook either, okay? Even though I tend to believe Katie's account of things, I'm not going as far as some of the people who know Nolan. I seen some of Nolan friends on Facebook talking about, yeah, say what y'all want. I'm standing 10 toes behind Katie. She would never do nothing. I said, all it takes is a little white girl, man, to get you niggas to start shucking and jiving, man. Start buck dancing and break dancing for that white woman. Nolan is dead, and you thought the best use of your time was to come on Facebook to comfort Katie as if Katie is a victim in this situation? And another thing, Mary Polk says, I'm standing behind Katie McCormick. I understand y'all don't know her, but me and 1,000 other of us have literally slept, ate, and partied at the McCormick house. Don't forget that's Dixie's child. Nolan is dead, and the first thing you think to do is to come on Facebook to comfort Katie? What? Excuse me? Listen, as far as I'm concerned, everybody is a suspect until this gets solved. Sorry, you was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Too bad. Nolan's dead. At least you got your life, right? I'm sorry, boo-hoo. You got to deal with some suspicion until the investigation is over. Boo-hoo. I feel like if you care about Nolan, that's the least you can do. The least you can do is tolerate some suspicion until the investigation is over with. But y'all are disgusting. Y'all are disgusting. Y'all love for white proximity. Oh my, it is trifling. Now, Katie McCormick responded back and she goes, what's understood don't have to be said. I love y'all. Just pray for his family and his friends. I'm good. And all I can do is pray for healing over them. This is a terrible situation all in all. So, now, pray for his friends will indicate they're not friends. So I'm assuming that they probably just met there. He was trying to holler at her. Who knows, man? But with all this coming out, right, we have the timelines that don't match. We got like the fight video that came out. The police don't really care about that either way. So the kid go missing. The kid end up dead. There's a video of him arguing with somebody before his death, and they don't care about that either. Cool. So now the parents found something in his phone, and now all of a sudden the police want to seize the phone. Man, y'all better not. Don't forget, though, the very suspicious and troubling circumstance surrounding Nolan's phone. See, Nolan's friends, they claim they left him on the island and they went to the mainland on a boat that was taking water on a 40-minute sail. But they did that, though. Okay, cool. So they claim they left Nolan on the island, but somehow they were still in possession of Nolan's phone. They claim he left the phone in the boat. Nolan's mama's like, hell nah, I know my son. My son got detachment issues with that phone. Ain't no way in the heck my son is staying on the island with no phone. Ain't no way in heck my son is staying outside for multiple hours without his phone in his hand. What are you guys talking about? Heck no. Heck no. Now, eventually she went to retrieve the phone, and when she went to retrieve the phone, what she discovered in the phone blows this entire case open.
As far as we know, his mother, Christine, and his father, Elmo, say they haven't gotten any answers. They, have been asked to turn over his cell phone to the Mississippi law enforcement authorities. But even that is troubling to them because they're saying messages that were deleted from his cell phone. So they want to try to dot every I and cross every T and investigate everything. They said it's very improbable that Nolan would not have wanted his cell phone with him if he was going to stay on the island.
Mm-hmm. There were deleted text messages on his phone. His parents found that. Who found that out?
No, well, they got his phone, so they're trying to figure out there's deletions on the phone, and they're trying to look at what is that about. There's so many inconsistencies going on, and so we're going to have, with our investigators and our associates, we're going to list all the inconsistencies down. We just got onto the case yesterday, so we have been staying up late with the family, talking to friends, talking to people who were there on that 4th of July, trying to piece together what really happened to Nolan Wells.
There were things deleted in a dead man's phone that he didn't have access to. How? There were things deleted in a dead man's phone. Understand this. If Nolan friends were the ones who got into that phone and was able to delete things, what are y'all deleting? What are y'all trying to hide? Like what exactly are y'all trying to cover up here? What? Now, I don't think they're not savvy enough not to go to recently deleted and delete that in that folder as well. I think what happens is probably the mom was pulling up to get the phone. They probably was running out of time, deleted a couple of things, ain't really have time to fully go to recently deleted and delete the rest. They got to do a full forensic of that phone and figure out what exactly got deleted, when it got deleted, everything, even the things that are out of recently deleted because it was deleted from out of that as well. Find out what it was. Also, too, here's another element. How do you get into a dead man's phone that got Face ID? If, again, we're going by the theory here, if his friends who had possession of his phone that he allegedly left behind, how would they be able to get into that phone that had Face ID on it? There's only one way. Unless you like the parents, right? The family members who could probably like contact Apple and get into the dead man's phone. But if you his homies and you his friends, the only way you will get into a dead man's phone that has Face ID on it is if you have access to the body. The body is on the boat. You take that body, you put the phone to the body, the phone on lock, and now you have access to the phone. That's the only way. Because can y'all also amuse me as to how y'all think they got into a dead man's phone with Face ID if the body wasn't on the boat? Before we even get to what they were deleting, why they deleted it, can we also, can we just start step by step? Okay, how did they get into a dead man's phone to delete something? It has Face ID on it. It has security measures. You can only get into that phone if that body was in your possession and you can, cool, bye. Hey, yo, get rid of this. I don't think the things that they saw were the only things that got deleted. Because them kids, if they did do it, allegedly, right? Because we dealing with mamas as judges here, but we gotta be careful, homie. If them kids did do it, they savvy enough to delete things out of recently deleted. I can promise you that. I think they ran out of time and just got to deleting some things last minute. I'm telling you, this is getting spooky. And the police got the nerve to say, yeah, give us the phone. Man, never give you guys the phone. Benjamin Crump is so savvy, he's taking Nolan and taking him to DC for an independent autopsy because he don't even trust the local people to do it. Because he think they're all in cahoots. And I agree, I co-sign that. But the police department that has ignored all the evidence, that have rushed to quickly say, man, there's no signs of foul play here. He died, he drowned. That police department now wants quite possibly the biggest smoking gun in this case. Hell nah. Hell nah. Send it off to an independent agency. Let them do the investigation. You better not give that police unrestricted access to that phone. That phone comes back with everything wiped out, man. All the evidence gone, man. I'm telling y'all. But Ben Crump has confirmed, they're taking Nolan Wells for an independent autopsy because they don't trust nothing that's going on in that small town. They believe that everybody is in cahoots.
Going to have him flown to a medical examiner in Washington, D.C., where his body will be preserved to do an autopsy to study every aspect of if he had any physical injuries to his body beyond drowning.
Mm-hmm. And where are you in that process now?
The body is going to be flown today. We expect to have the results of that independent autopsy on.
We're going to wait for that autopsy, but if the theory here is he got thrown overboard, what would the autopsy show? If he was just a poor swimmer, they threw him overboard, he drowned. What would the autopsy show exactly? But we're going to wait, man. But this is some bad stuff. This is some bad stuff here, bruh. It sounds like a young black boy got murdered in cold blood. And, the people who allegedly did it are probably going to get away with it because they're powerful. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Nolan Wells was murdered, or was this an accidental drowning? Let me know in the comment section, okay? Do y'all believe Katie, or do y'all believe Nolan friends Wyatt, Warren, and Eric? Let me know in the comment section, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out. Nolan and taking, they murdered that little boy, man. What Nolan Wells' parents found in his phone confirms beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond a is horrifying, bro. It's sickening. It's one. The levels of betrayal that we learned today that Nolan Wells went through at the hands of his white friends towards the end of his life is horrifying, bro. It's sickening. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Nolan's family did a press conference earlier today with Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, and other activists present, where they officially addressed the media and the public, and they officially laid out their case. Now, during this press conference, we learned a couple new details that we didn't know. First off, I was completely off and wrong about the phone situation. Turns out I was giving the friends too much benefit of the doubt. I thought at the very least, man, if y'all were responsible for killing the little homie, y'all would at least give up his phone voluntarily and his property. At the very least, even if you killed the boy, bruh, you would give his family back his property voluntarily. Come to find out, bruh, it was a fight for the family to get back his property. So first off, I was under the notion they called the family up and said, hey, we got his phone, here it is. No, they apparently had to track Nolan's phone. They had to use Life 360 to track his phone. And when they track his phone, it wasn't until they popped up to get the phone is when the friends have no other option but to hand it over.
We are grateful, especially to our friend Tashima, who actually was one of the people who helped us that night. She went and picked up his cell phone from where it was and then provided that to us because we of course contacted authorities to figure out who to do the report with, whether it was the county or the city, which then turned into DMR, who I contacted immediately from there. And, so our friend actually, when I called her, Nolan is best friends with her two sons, Jalen and Javon. When I called her, I said, Tashima, have you seen Nolan? He's missing. No one has seen him. No one has talked to him. The boys were actually with her sons. So they opened up their Snapchat because a lot of the kids do have their locations where they're tracking one another. So one of the boys says, well, it's showing that I can't exactly remember what his location was showing, but my Life 360 location was showing something completely different. It was actually showing that his phone was like he was on land. And so we ended up, she received the phone from that parent.
Before we even get to the deleted messages, the Snapchats, the photos, the videos that was deleted from out of Nolan's phone, let's just address this. If the phone was still on when it got to the home, which is how they were even still able to track it to the friend's house, was because the phone was at least on when it got to the friend's house, then riddle me this. If the phone is on and your homie go missing, his family is calling him, his friends is calling him, I would imagine that if you guys cared about him, if you guys thought he was really missing, y'all would be calling him too to figure out where he's at, right? If that's your homie and you guys left, hey bro, you got home safely? Wouldn't that be the first thing you do? If you left your friend behind on an island and an hour or 2 hours go by as you guys is packing up to get home, you guys is unloading the boat, everything, y'all not calling, hey bruh, is you good? And when you picked up that phone to call his number, wouldn't it be ringing? You would clearly hear that phone ringing if the phone was in your possession as you're calling the phone. And once you realize the phone is ringing back to back and you see his family is calling and his friends is calling and you guys is calling, wouldn't you pick up the phone and call his mom and be like, hey mom, his phone is over here. He left his phone behind. But that never happened. No. While everybody is calling, they had the phone. It took the parents having to track the phone back to their house and pulling up before they could get the phone. To me, that's suspicious. That's sketchy. But this next story about Nolan's car is even more sketchy. So Nolan is pictured with several people on that island. Several. Now, one of the dudes he's pictured with on that island, apparently Nolan and a few others went to his house first and parked their cars there. So while Nolan is missing, they go to his vehicle. They locate his vehicle. Now, the vehicle is locked. So they're trying to find any signs of him, trying to see if there's any clues left behind to find out where he's at. But the car is locked. The keys to Nolan's car is apparently at the house belonging to one of Nolan's friends. One of the friends who's actually on the island with Nolan called Jax. Now, apparently they get to Jax's crib. Nolan's friends are outside trying to figure out what's going on and what happened, right? What's going on with Nolan? So the father gets to the crib. Jack starts telling the father, man, Nolan was like a brother to me. The father said, that's cool. Where is Nolan Keys at? Right? We're trying to figure out what's going on with Nolan. Jack starts stumbling, starts stalling, starts delaying, starts lying, making up excuses. This entire Key situation really makes your eyebrow raise.
And then we met up where his car was, which was at a separate location. There were issues obtaining the key. But even so, there's just a lot of...
Tell them about what happened.
So I'm going to let my husband tell you about that because he actually went up to the door to get the key because at that point, I was just not in my right mind. This has just been an awful situation. Just terrible.
And Omar wants phone.
Okay, so the situation with the key. When we got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. And they were at the door in the house asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting, things were getting kind of intense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy, he's in one of the pictures. He came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. I know he's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off. 2 or 3 minutes, come back, I can't find the keys. I said, okay, so at that point, I get the boys and I move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because they'll never be all in the situation. So we walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really in distress with you.
The father would have been wrong if he would have went in his jaws, right? Y'all would have called the father all type of names, all type of ghettos, all all type of names in the book if he would have went up in that boy's jaw, right? That's your brother, that's your homie, you love him, right? We're trying to find him at this point. That car could be a huge missing piece. We say, yo, where the keys at? And he was in this crib. He parked in this crib. He parked here. He left the keys here. Before y'all went to the island. You go and search for 3 minutes, come back. Oh, I didn't find nothing, sir. It's not here. The key's not here, sir. Only for a girl to say, nah, he's lying. The keys is on top of that Xbox. Yo, if that girl had a vivid memory, understand this, okay? Now, the girl didn't say, yo, the keys is, no, the key. She said the keys is on top of his Xbox. The Xbox is something that you clearly play every day. So if that girl had the foresight to say, yo, the keys is on his Xbox. You went back to look for the quote unquote keys. You spent 3 minutes looking for the keys to come and say, hey, I can't find it. You ain't look on top of your Xbox? You ain't look in your room? So where did you look for these keys at? If it took you 3 minutes to go ahead and look for these keys, where did you look for the keys at that you didn't find it on top of your Xbox? Something that you use and play every day. Clearly, you had no intentions on helping his family. Clearly, you had no desire on helping his family. And I'm just wondering, bro, what type of people was Nolan around, bro? If these are supposed to be his friends, God, I don't know what an enemy is, man. If these are your friends and you missing, yo, daddy showed up, distressed, trying to do anything to help you out. And your homie, first off, he says he woke up out of his sleep disheveled. Like disheveled. So I'm missing you, my so-called brother, and you asleep. Right? No care or worry in the world. You wake up. Hey, bro, can you get Nolan keys? It's not here, so well, I can't find it. 3 minutes later, man, all right, man. Now, it gets worse, okay? So the mama finally addressed the deleted messages and deleted images and videos. Now, apparently when the mama got the phone back, they went through the snap. Now, the Snapchat is where Nolan was communicating with these dudes at. Understand, when Nolan went missing, all the friends went to Snapchat to try to find him. They all was calling his Snapchat. They all was like trying to trace the Snapchat via the Snapchat map, right? So the Snapchat is where he communicated with these people the most. It's where if anything would have happened and he communicated with it, it would have been on Snapchat. The parents get the phone and go through the Snapchat, the entire Snapchat damn near erased, man. Like, yo, they can't find no recent messages. They can't find no recent pictures. Nothing. That's odd. That's strange. Like, what do you mean? Like the Snapchat is wiped clean? Who wiped it clean? Nolan was dead, right?
So when we made it home, my sister and I actually went through Nolan's cell phone, particularly Snapchat, because that is so popular with the children. And when we opened it up, there was nothing. There were no saved pictures. There were no snaps from that day. And we did open it before the 24-hour expiration. So we found that very concerning, only because anyone who's ever been around Nolan will tell you at social gatherings, he's taking videos, he's taking pictures, he's even come up to me when I'm getting ready to go to bed. Hey, Mom, come on, take a picture of me. You know, like that was Nolan. So that's why we feel that things may have been deleted, was because of the fact that there was nothing in either one of his accounts.
The next part actually makes that look a little bit more suspicious. You see, if you want to say, listen, man, he didn't take no pictures and videos that day, that's not suspicious, cool. But he didn't send no snaps that day, he didn't message nobody that day. That's like somebody coming and discovering your phone after you go missing and then seeing you didn't message nobody all week. That's the equivalent to an 18-year-old not sending no messages to nobody. They communicated on Snap to meet up for the beach. The Horn Island. His friends was communicating with him on Snap that day, which is why when he went missing, the first thing they did was go to Snap. So where are the messages from the friends at that day? So he didn't snap nobody. He didn't send no messages to nobody that day on Snapchat. Clearly not, bro. Clearly something got deleted. Now, why? Who knows? But Benjamin Crump did say they found, or they got an enhanced version of the video we saw where Nolan is getting into the altercation. Now, we could hear Nolan screaming and there was a back and forth, but it was hard to make out exactly what they said. They now have an enhanced version. And according to them, the fight that was happening between Nolan and somebody else, Nolan was actually screaming for them to give him back his phone. Nolan was like, give him my damn phone, man. Give him my damn phone. That was the argument back and forth. Now, I'm here to say, what was in that phone that was so precious that they was keeping it from Nolan, even when he was screaming at the top of his lungs for them to give him back his phone?
It's important. And then the fact, Reverend Al, that they have this video of an argument that is going on, and you know, thank God all young people, they have cell phones, and anytime you hear people raising their voice, they start the video. And so you hear on the video Nolan saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And that becomes even more relevant when you think about the story that they are presenting, that Nolan chose to stay behind. That's what they're saying.
If Nolan is screaming for them to give him back his phone and they still kept it and then went home with the phone, what was in that phone that they couldn't let Nolan get the phone back? What was in that? What did Nolan have in that phone about them that they didn't want out? Because if he's screaming, "Give me back my phone back," man, what you doing? What the freak? Give me back my phone back, and they still kept his phone. Something was in that phone that they were willing to kill over, man. Something was in that phone that they were willing to kill and do life in prison over before it gets out. And then the mom gets the phone back and things are deleted from the phone. Isn't that the motive right there? You see how when you use common sense, everything lines up? You see how their events and their story doesn't make sense, but when you get more details and you just line up the series of events, it all makes sense. Nolan is yelling to get back his phone. They didn't want to give it to him. Nolan's mom finally gets his phone after Nolan goes missing, and she sees things are deleted from the phone. So what about that phone made y'all want to keep it? What was in that phone that y'all did not want to give it back to Nolan? Man, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, bro. This is sketchy, bro. This is a different level of betrayal. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, all right? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here or here or here, to find out how Shannon Sharpe crashed out after being disrespected on his own podcast. I'm going to see you guys in the Shannon Sharpe video. Out of here, folks. Peace. We got Sandbag, we got Alley Bag. We got Momo on the way. We got Sandbag. We got Alley Bag. It's going down. Ooh! Happy
on, bro. He like if he. He's doing this. What the you think all the new students want to hit? Come on. Yeah. Turn the light on, leave off. Leave off. Leave off. You want me to turn the light on? Mm-hmm. I need it off. You can turn it off. What I say, listen, that in vain. Pick up your hamster. Cool. Ready, gangster? Yeah. All right. Where's the Kai's gonna be mad.
Just delete all those videos in 48 hours or else.
What you jumping for? Oh, that's scary. Hey, bro, you know. Wait, didn't you get accepted? Yeah, he got accepted. Why you in here? I was trying to see how it's bro, what you mean? I'm trying to hit it. He's trying to hit his shit. This is prime example why he like if he's doing this, what the you think all the new students want to hit his shit, bro? Like, what the they want to be around us. That's what it is. It's the energy. We just turn you up. We know it's gonna be ass. I just got out the studio, bro. I'm gonna be right here. I ain't gonna switch. You know what? Go get the talk. I ain't gonna switch. All right, y'all ready? Come on. Turn me up. See the huh? Go. It's your church, man. All right. It's crazy when I got boys on him thinking he on phone or some like he talking. That's right. Bitch, this might get us banned for life. Nigga say he's doing it every year. We're gonna be banned every year. Well, not you, because that's your daddy. He gonna do something for you, bro. Got to. I don't know why you think that. He would have called my name. He would have called my name. Pick up your hamster. Yeah, I like the channel that. Yeah. Hey.
What's the guy
Pick up your hamster. Hey. Listen, that died in vain. Pick up your hamster. 48. Oh, see, I like the challenge, that energy. Yeah, run that shit back. Listen, that in vain. I like the hamster.